very urgent. Your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly. My child. I see you. I have always seen you. Even in your darkest hours when you felt invisible to the world, I was there, holding every tear that fell from your eyes. Listen closely to me. Your soulmate was ready to move on last night. They had made up their mind to close the door on love, to walk away from the hope of finding someone like you. Then something happened. Something I orchestrated with my own hands. I reached into their heart and stirred a feeling they could not explain, a sudden warmth that made them stop in their tracks. Jesus says. They were sitting alone, maybe in their car, maybe in a quiet room, and out of nowhere they thought of you. Not your face, not your name, but the feeling of you. The feeling of home. Stay with me until the end, because I am going to reveal the exact sign I am placing in your path tomorrow. You will not miss it if your heart is open. Your soulmate has been praying for you too. In the quiet of their own lonely nights, they have whispered to me, asking why love feels so far away, why their heart aches for someone they have not yet met. I heard every word. I collected every prayer like precious jewels. And last night, I answered them in a way they did not expect. I placed your name in their spirit. I placed your presence in their dreams. The Lord says. You may have felt it too. That sudden warmth in your chest for no reason. That unexpected peace that washed over you when you were about to give up. That was me, connecting two hearts that I designed to beat as one. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had told themselves that maybe love was not meant for them, that maybe they were asking for too much, that maybe they should settle for less than what their heart truly desired. But I do not create souls to settle. I create them to find their match, their other half, the one who makes them feel seen and known and safe. And last night, I reminded your soulmate of this truth in the deepest part of their being. Jesus says. They suddenly felt a pull they could not ignore. A pull toward hope, toward faith, toward the belief that someone wonderful is still out there. That someone is you, my child. That someone has always been you. Stay with me, because before this message ends, I am going to tell you the one thing your soulmate is feeling right now that will confirm everything I am saying to you. I have watched you build walls around your heart. I have seen you lock the door and throw away the key because past hurts made you believe that love was dangerous, that opening up would only lead to more pain. But those walls were never meant to be permanent. They were meant to protect you for a season, to give you time to heal, to give me time to prepare the one who would know exactly how to love you without breaking you. Your soulmate was ready to move on last night. They had drafted a goodbye letter to love in their mind. They had accepted a future of loneliness because it felt safer than hoping again. Then I stepped in. I whispered your spirit into their dreams. I showed them flashes of a life they could not yet understand, moments of laughter and comfort and deep, unshakable peace. And they woke up changed. The Lord says. They do not know your name yet, but they know your soul. They felt a recognition that defies explanation, a sense that somewhere out there, the missing piece of their heart is waiting. You have had those moments too, haven't you? Those strange, out-of-place memories that feel like they belong to a future you have not yet lived. Those sudden feelings of warmth when you think about love, even after you swore you were done hoping. Those are not accidents, my child. Those are the threads I am weaving between two hearts that belong together. Those are the signs that your souls are already connected in ways your mind cannot yet comprehend. Jesus says, your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly felt hope again. They suddenly felt worthy of love again. They suddenly felt that maybe, just maybe, their prayers were being answered. Stay with me until the very end, because I am going to reveal the final seal of peace that will confirm this connection is real and that your meeting is closer than you think. I know the nights have been long. I know the silence has been heavy. I know you have wondered if I forgot about the desire of your heart, if I overlooked the longing that keeps you awake when the world is asleep. I did not forget. I have been working behind the scenes, arranging every detail, removing every obstacle, preparing both your hearts so that when you finally meet, there will be no doubt, no fear, only the sweet recognition of two souls finding their way home. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had one foot out the door, ready to settle for a life that was good enough but not the life I designed for them. Ready to accept a love that was comfortable but not the love that would set their soul on fire. Then last night, I reached into their heart and flipped a switch. I turned on a light they thought had burned out forever. I reminded them of the promise I made to them long ago, the promise that there is someone perfectly made for them, someone who will love them the way they have always deserved to be loved. The Lord says, that someone is you. You are the answer to their prayers, just as they are the answer to yours. You are the blessing I have been preparing, the gift I have been protecting, the love story I have been writing since before you were born. You may not feel ready. You may look at your life and see unfinished business, old wounds, mistakes you wish you could undo. But I do not call the ready. I make the ready. And I have been making you ready through every trial, every tear, every lonely night. Your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly could not stop thinking about the future. They suddenly felt excited about tomorrow in a way they had not felt in years. Jesus says, that excitement is me, breathing new life into their hope. That excitement is the beginning of the end of their loneliness. That excitement is the first spark of the fire that will burn between you two for the rest of your lives. Stay with me, because I am about to tell you what your soulmate is doing right now, at this very moment, that proves they are being drawn to you by forces stronger than their own will. I have placed signs in your path that you have missed because your eyes were too clouded by doubt. A song that played at the exact right moment. A stranger who said something that stuck with you for days. A dream that felt more real than waking life. Those were not coincidences. Those were my love letters to you, reminders that I am still here, still working, still moving heaven and earth to bring your hearts together at the perfect time. Your soulmate was ready to move on last night. They had deleted the dating apps. They had told their friends they were done looking. They had made peace with a future without the kind of love that makes your soul sing. Then something happened. In the middle of their surrender, I planted a seed of hope so strong it could not be ignored. I gave them a vision of a face they could not see clearly but a presence they could feel deeply. I gave them the knowing that their person is real and close. The Lord says. They woke up this morning with a strange sense of anticipation. They felt like something big was about to happen, even though nothing in their schedule suggested it. They felt a restlessness that was not anxiety but excitement, not fear but faith. That is because their spirit recognizes what their mind has not yet grasped. Their soul knows that the wait is almost over. Their heart knows that the one they have been praying for is being prepared even now, in this very moment, through these very words. Jesus says, your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly started paying attention to the signs they had been ignoring. They suddenly noticed the butterflies that appeared out of nowhere. They suddenly felt drawn to places they had no reason to visit. Those butterflies were my messengers. Those places are where your paths will cross. Those signs are the breadcrumbs I am leaving so that when you finally meet, you will both look back and see my hand in every step that led you to each other. I need you to do something important right now, my child. I need you to forgive the past. Not for the people who hurt you, but for yourself. Because every grudge you hold is a weight that slows your steps toward the future I have prepared. Your soulmate has their own past to heal from. They have their own scars and their own fears. But I am healing them even as I heal you. I am preparing them even as I prepare you. And when two healed hearts meet, the love that flows between them is unstoppable. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had accepted that maybe they were meant to walk this life alone, that maybe their standards were too high, that maybe the kind of love they dreamed of only existed in stories. Then last night, I showed them that their dreams were not fantasies. I showed them that the love they long for is real and waiting. I showed them a glimpse of a life so beautiful it brought tears to their eyes, tears of hope instead of sorrow. The Lord says, those tears were holy. Those tears were the breaking open of a heart that had been closed for too long. Those tears were the surrender that allows me to do what they could not do for themselves, to bring the right person into their life at the right time. Stay with me, because the revelation I am about to give you will change how you see every interaction you have from this day forward. You will start to recognize the signs. You will start to feel the pull. You will know when your soulmate is near. You have been praying for a sign, haven't you? You have been asking me to show you that your soulmate is real, that your wait is not in vain, that the desire of your heart is not foolish but divine. Here is your sign, my child. The very fact that you are hearing these words right now is your sign. I brought you here, to this moment, to this message, because your soulmate's heart shifted last night, and I need your heart to be ready for what comes next. Jesus says, your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly felt a love they could not explain. It was not tied to anyone they knew. It was a love that seemed to come from the future, a love that wrapped around them like a warm blanket on a cold night. That was my love, but it was also a preview of your love. It was a taste of what it will feel like to be cherished by someone who sees every part of you and chooses to stay. It was a promise of the safety and peace you will find in each other's arms. I want you to think about the last time you felt truly at peace. Maybe it was years ago. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was a moment so brief you almost missed it. That peace was a glimpse of what your life will feel like once your soulmate is by your side. Your soulmate felt that same peace last night. In the middle of their readiness to give up, I flooded their heart with a peace that made no sense. A peace that said, wait. Do not move on. The one you are waiting for is closer than you think. The Lord says. That peace is your meeting ground. That peace is the atmosphere your relationship will live in. That peace is the gift I am giving both of you so that when you finally find each other, you will recognize it immediately. You will feel at home. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had made plans that did not include you. They had started to build a life that was safe but small, comfortable but incomplete. They had almost convinced themselves that wanting more was greedy. Then something happened last night that shattered that lie. I spoke to them in a language their soul understood. I reminded them that I am a God of abundance, not scarcity. I reminded them that I want to give them the desires of their heart, not withhold them. Jesus says. They suddenly remembered a prayer they prayed long ago, a prayer they had forgotten they even spoke. A prayer for someone kind, someone loyal, someone who would love them without conditions. And in that memory, they felt me say, that prayer is being answered. Do not give up now. You have forgotten prayers too, haven't you? Prayers you whispered in the dark, prayers you cried out in your pain, prayers you thought went unanswered because the answer did not come in the time you expected. But I do not work on your timeline, my child. I work on the timeline of perfect preparation. And last night, the final pieces fell into place. The last walls came down. The last doubts were silenced. Your soulmate is now ready, truly ready, to receive you. Stay with me until the end, because I am going to tell you exactly how to prepare your heart in these final days before your paths cross. This preparation is crucial. Do not skip this part. Your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly felt brave enough to love again. They suddenly felt strong enough to risk their heart. They suddenly felt worthy of the kind of love that does not fade. That bravery came from me, but it also came from you. Your prayers for them, even the ones you did not know you were praying, reached their heart. Your longing for them created a bridge that I am now walking them across. The Lord says. Every time you chose to believe in love despite your pain, you strengthened the connection between your hearts. Every time you refused to let bitterness take root, you made room for the blessing I am bringing. Every time you trusted me even when you could not see, you moved your soulmate one step closer. Your soulmate felt those steps last night. They felt a shift in their spirit that they cannot put into words. They feel it still, right now, as you are listening to these words. They feel a pull toward something they cannot name, a sense that their life is about to change in the most wonderful way. Jesus says, your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly started doing things that surprise even them. They reached out to an old friend they had lost touch with. They went to a place they had not been in years. They smiled at a stranger for no reason. Those are not random acts. Those are the ripples of a heart that has been touched by divine love. Those are the first movements of a soul that knows, deep down, that their other half is being drawn near. Those are the signs that the connection is real and active. I need you to start paying attention to your own ripples, my child. The sudden urge to call someone. The unexpected desire to visit a new place. The dream that felt like a message. Those are not your own ideas. Those are me, guiding your steps toward the meeting I have planned. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had written the final chapter of their love story and it ended with them alone, strong but lonely, capable but incomplete. They had made their peace with it, or so they thought. Then last night, I tore up that ending and wrote a new one. I showed them a future where they are not alone. I showed them mornings waking up next to someone who loves them completely. I showed them a life so full of joy they could barely breathe thinking about it. The Lord says, those visions are real. Those are not fantasies. Those are the blueprints of the life I am building for you both. Every detail is being handled by my hands. Every obstacle is being removed by my power. Every delay has been for your protection and your perfect preparation. Stay with me, because I am about to reveal the exact nature of the sign I will place in your path tomorrow. This sign will be unmistakable if your heart is open. This sign will confirm everything I have been telling you. Your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly felt your presence. Not your physical presence, but the presence of your soul. They felt like someone was thinking about them, loving them, praying for them. That was you, my child. Your heart's cry reached them across the distance that still separates you. Your faith created a bridge that love is now walking across. Your refusal to give up on love became the very force that pulled them back from the edge of surrender. Jesus says, they felt it as a warmth in their chest. They felt it as a sudden smile they could not explain. They felt it as a peace that settled over them like a gentle rain after a long drought. And in that feeling, they knew, without knowing how they knew, that their person was real. You have felt it too. In the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts. In the sudden bursts of hope that catch you off guard. In the dreams that feel like visits from a future that is already real. Those are not your imagination. Those are the threads of connection I am strengthening every day. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had told their heart to stop hoping. They had told their dreams to be quiet. They had told themselves that the love they wanted was a fairy tale, not a promise. Then something happened last night that proved them wrong. I spoke to them in a dream so vivid they could not shake it when they woke. I showed them a life with you, a life of simple joys and deep connection, a life where they are known and chosen every single day. The Lord says, that dream is a promise. That dream is a preview. That dream is the first page of the story you will write together. And your soulmate woke up from that dream with a heart that was lighter than it had been in years, with a hope that was brighter than they thought possible. I want you to hold on to that hope too, my child. I want you to let it fill the empty spaces in your heart. I want you to let it push out the fear and the doubt and the pain of the past. Because hope is the soil in which your future love will grow, and I am watering it even now. Your soulmate was ready to move on. Then something happened last night and they suddenly started preparing. They cleaned their home in a way they had not in months. They bought something new for their space. They looked in the mirror and saw themselves as someone worth loving. Those preparations are not accidental. Those are the physical echoes of a spiritual readiness. Their soul knows that someone is coming, and their body is responding by creating space, by making room, by becoming the person they need to be to receive the love I am sending. Jesus says, you need to prepare too, my child. Not by changing who you are, but by becoming more fully who I made you to be. Let go of the lies that say you are not enough. Let go of the fears that say you will be rejected. Let go of the past that says love always ends in pain. Stay with me, because the final revelation is coming. I am going to seal this message with a promise that will carry you through the last days of waiting. Do not turn away now. The best part is yet to come. Your soulmate was ready to move on. They had almost convinced themselves that they were fine alone, that they did not need anyone, that their life was full enough without the complication of deep love. Then last night, I showed them the truth. I showed them that they were not fine, they were just surviving. I showed them that they do need someone, not because they are weak, but because I created them for connection, for partnership, for the kind of love that makes both people stronger. The Lord says, that truth broke something open in them.